Good evening, kids and adults, creatures from this world and from the other. Today I came to tell you a very spooky Halloween story. I hope you're having a horrible Halloween. A long time ago, when kings used to be good if they were not bad, and the animals could talk, there was, on the top of a high mountain, an abandoned castle. Nobody would ever go there because there lived a headless ghost. Going down the mountain, there was a village, and in the village you could find a very poor and simple inn. One day in the inn arrived a boy. He was tired and he seemed to be a very simple boy, but he had a sword studded with brilliance. The boy asked for supper and started a conversation with the innkeeper. And then, no news around here, buddy. No news, always good news. Well, nothing new ever happens here. What about you? Well, just one. There's another king occupying the king's throne. So, you mean the other one now is dead? Well, nobody knows. He just disappeared without a trace. That's weird. Well, not that much. The king's brother is a wizard. And is this weird the new king? That's it. And no one did anything. Well, I tried, but my uncle had arrested my bride. And he threatened me. He told me he would kill her in case I interfered. Well, it's a pity he didn't come here. He could unravel the mystery of the abandoned castle. What happens to the castle? It has 300 years, but it seems to have only 30. It's abandoned, but at midnight you see the lights on it, and you can hear screams, moans, and dragging chains. Did anyone ever go there to see what happens? Well, many brave ones have tried, but they miss their courage at the moment they step on the castle's courtyard. They run away like scared dogs. People say it's guarded by a headless ghost. This is something I'd like to see with my own eyes. The news ran fast all over. 1 hour later, all the peasants were in front of the inn waiting for the boy to go up in the mountain and visit the castle. All women feeling pity for him, and all men wanted him to come back shivering with a very bad belly ache. When the clock struck midnight, the boy stood in front of the castle. It just looked like the innkeeper told him. It was an old castle, but it seemed to be brand new. The moon was full high in the sky, and all that sounds of shoutings and moanings were very uncomfortable for the boy. Those moans, shouts, and whispers would echo all on the castle hallways. Is anyone there? Nobody answered the boy, but as the drawbridge was down, he got his horse and entered the castle's courtyard. By the castle door, there was a man, and believe me, there was nothing over his shoulders. It was the Headless Ghost. His clothes were very old and dirty, full of blood. Come down, horse, come down. Good evening, sir. So the ghost pointed down the bridge, showing something on the water. The boy started shivering. In the water, there was the head of the Headless Ghost. When the ghost pointed to it, the boy understood what he wanted. So he got the head and gave it back to the ghost. The ghost sat on the head and said, "Without my head, I couldn't speak. It's been 300 years. I'm trying to ask for help, but everyone who arrives here runs away. There were five who died of a heart attack. When they come close to me, they just faint." "And why couldn't you get your head by yourself, sir?" "I could not leave the castle. My name is Nicholas. And yours?" "I'm Carlyle." "Come in, Carlyle." In the hall, in front of the fireplace, the boy listened to his story. "I was beheaded by a swordsman. He was a friend of my siblings. After that, he cursed me to wander the castle, and since then I had no moment of peace." "So that's why the castle didn't get old. Where are your siblings, Nicholas?" "They are in the dungeon. I chained them. Can you listen?" "And why are they chained?" "I put them there." "That's horrible." By the time, I didn't think like that. I just wanted to be the only owner of the castle and the lands. So the swordsman killed me. In the beginning, I was very angry. But after some years, I started to feel guilty. Then I understood I was wrong. Since then, I just regret. "Well, now you can apologize to your siblings." "Yes, now I can go to the dungeon and set them free. But before that, I need to thank you." "That's okay. Is there anything you want me to do for you?" "Well, actually, there is something. Did you know there is a wizard occupying the king's throne? Would you please finish him?" "You can go home in peace, Carlyle. I'll be helping you with that." The ghost shadow suddenly dismantled, like smoke taken by the wind. The shouts and moans and whispers also vanished. The fire on the torches went away, and suddenly all the castle got cold and humid. After getting used to the dark, Carlyle went back to the courtyard, getting rid of all those spider webs around the castle hall. Once he was out, his horse was nervous, beating his paws on the floor. Easy, buddy. It's just a castle that went 300 years in 1 second." Because there, under the moonlight, there were only ruins and rocks of what had been a big castle a few minutes ago. 3 days later, the boy went back to the king's castle, and everybody was very pleased to see him. The king was back to his throne, but what about the wizard? Carlyle was very curious, and he asked his bride. "Well, nobody knows. He had been seen 3 days ago sitting on the throne. Suddenly, eight dark shadows surrounded him. He shouted for light, but it was too late. The shadows vanished, and he vanished too." So Carlyle told everyone his adventure with the Headless Ghost, and they all understood what happened to the wizard. That day they celebrate and lived happy ever after. Or not. And the story I have just told you is The Headless Ghost. This story is available on the book Contos de Castelos e Fantasmas, and it's been written by Hernani Só. E a história que eu contei para vocês é O Fantasma Sem Cabeça, do livro Contos de Castelos e Fantasmas, escrito pelo Hernani Só. Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado dessa história e tenham sentido um pouquinho de medo no Halloween, né? I hope you have enjoyed this story and have felt shiverings all over your body on this Halloween. A big kiss for you and see you next time.